Hello and welcome back for another episode of the Fit40 Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about two types of people that struggle with fat loss. Now, in my own experience, these are the two types of people that usually struggle the most, or this is just the two categories that most people tend to fit in when they're struggling. Now, you can be a combination of the two. You can be something totally different. I'm just talking in general. So if you find that you are one or maybe both of these types of people, then you'll have some strategies coming out of this to help improve and finally get to the point where you can start seeing the results that you want and keeping them for the long term. So let's talk about type one. Okay. Type one is the I know what I need to do. I just have to make myself do it type of person. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit more about in detail what these types can do. We're just going to lay it out for right now because type two is I feel like I have no idea what to do. So that type one is like, I got all the tools, I'm just not using them. And type two is I just don't have a freaking clue. Okay, so let's talk type one. Usually, when this person is saying, I know what I need to do, I just need to make myself do it, they're one, lacking awareness, two, potentially relying on false beliefs that are not serving them, and three, they just can't get out of their own way. So, when it comes to the awareness piece, the big one usually is calories. These are those same types of people that are like, I eat all the healthy foods, I eat everything I'm supposed to eat, and I can't lose a pound. But they don't track calories in any way, shape, or form. And they really don't have a concept of how many calories or how calorie dense certain foods can be, like avocados or other healthy fats like that, or fattier types of meat or fish. Like these things are inherently healthy. They will make you feel good, and it's harder to eat too much of them, but it is still possible to keep yourself in maintenance or potentially even gain weight eating all of these quote unquote healthy foods, especially if you go down that path of all the healthy like snacks, like when you go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's and you're like, well, it's at this healthy place, like it should be fine. This is way better than Oreos or Ben and Jerry's, right? Well, when it comes down to it, it's still too many calories. Is it as calorie dense as those other options? Probably not, but it's still too many for you and your goals. Number two on the awareness is alcohol and food quality. So sometimes we're eating all the right things, but we need that glass or two of wine at night. And that glass or two affects our sleep, which then affects how much we move the next day, how much we are able to perform in the gym the next day, and even our food choices. So you may be eating all the right things, but then you have a night where you drink, and then for the next 1, 2, maybe 3 days, you're not making as great a health or great of food decisions, and you're on this never-ending cycle of, okay, I'm good Monday through Friday, then happy hour hits, and then Friday through Sunday, I do my best, but I'm not doing what is required to reach my goals. And a lot of people do fall into that category. And then when it comes to the food quality side of things, maybe you are trying to be calorie conscious, but you don't really understand how much fat is in something compared to how much protein or how much calories. Like the type of people that are trying to eat peanut butter because they're trying to hit their protein goals, but still are either maintaining or gaining weight. If you're trying to eat something that has so much fat in it, and fat is basically double the calories of protein when it's like gram for gram, okay, you're putting yourself in a situation where now you're confused because you're like, all right, again, healthy food. I'm getting this all natural peanut butter and I'm trying to get more protein. What the hell am I doing wrong? And it's this balance of calories and macros that you need to learn. And then last is it's not last, but I picked like my top three. And the last one that I think a lot of people are missing is exercise intensity. Because when it comes to weight training in particular, or strength training, people are like, well, I'm lifting with weights. That's what I should be doing, right? Yes, but your body will adapt very, very, very fast. So if you're using the exact same amount of weights, doing the exact type of group exercise classes, doing the exact same thing that's not really requiring more of a demand on your body has no reason to change. So you need to always focus on progressive overload when it comes to exercise if your goal is to build muscle and burn the most fat possible. So even if you're not losing a pound, if your exercise intensity is high enough, you're going to be putting on muscle and burning fat and recomping your body, and you'll be able to greatly improve your health if the exercise intensity is high enough. So, a lot of benefits there as well. Now, when it comes to false beliefs, this could be the type of person that says, it's just, I got to stop eating the sugar. I just got to avoid the sugar. That's my problem. It's just these carbs, this sugar. And it's like, no, it's not the sugar. Let's cut the shit. It's not the sugar. There's so many people out there demonizing one food group or one thing. And if you go down the rabbit hole of that, of all the things that you shouldn't be eating, all the things that are horrible for your health, you're going to be left with nothing. And then you're going to get to the point where even breathing our air is too toxic. So you might as well just like give up right then and there. So you're left feeling helpless and like there's nothing. And that is exactly where people want you that are preaching those messages. That's right where they want you, because when you feel helpless, you're searching for a solution that they just so happen to have. Okay, so don't fall into that trap. Those people are snake oil salesmen. They're the worst part of the fitness and nutrition industry and leaving people worse. So let's not fall for the, oh, it's this one ingredient, it's this one food. If it was that simple, we would have fixed this hundreds of years ago. But there's literally charts right now, especially when it comes to sugar. Sugar consumption has actually gone down in recent years, but obesity continues to go up. So clearly that's not the issue. Okay. Next is the people that believe they need more willpower. I just got to will myself into doing it. I just got to make myself. Well, simple question. How's that working so far? Seriously, how much longer are we going to tell that story and play that game until it's too late, until you're immobile, until you're too sick to do something about it? This is a very real thing that can happen by saying, I just got to make myself do it. And years and years and years go by, health gets worse, we feel worse, and eventually it might get to a point where you can't do anything about it. We don't want to get to that point. We don't want to keep telling ourselves, I just got to make myself do it if it's not getting done. It's just this never ending cycle. Again, you don't want to get stuck in one of those cycles. And then next is needing a new or more complex plan. If we failed this really simple plan, you know what? I just need to really make myself want to do it. I'm going to jump on this harder one. I'm going to make it so much more challenging on myself. And that makes zero sense as well, because it's like, if we can't do one thing, what makes you think that you're going to be able to do five things all at once? Okay. This is just, it's human nature. It's very common to fall into these traps, but just know that these are a bunch of lies and stories you're going to tell yourself over and over and over again until years and years and years go on and you're left thinking like, damn, I wish I did something about this, rather than telling myself that same story over and over and over again. Okay. And then last but not least is that they can't get out of their own way. That belief that you got to do it alone. Okay. The most successful people in the entire world, all of them have coaches or friends or family that have helped them along the way. The differentiator is the people that actually take the help and those that don't. The ones that bear down and say, no, if I don't do it myself, I'm not worthy of this. I don't deserve it. And that is, again, a line of absolute shit. It just gives you another convenient excuse to not do what you need to do, because you're putting yourself in the position of a martyr and saying, well, I'm going to do it myself or I'm going to die trying. And it's like, all right, well, if you want to take those odds, that's fine. But it's like, if you reach out for help and you get somebody in your corner that cares about you, that wants the best for you, that's going to provide the accountability, then you're going to live a better quality of life. And I don't know about you, but I'll take that second option over feeling like a total failure and feeling like you can't stick to your promises that you set for yourself and just going down this negative loop. That's just not necessary. Okay. Next is should be able to do it already. It's like, oh, same concept where it's like, okay, I should be able to do this. What the hell's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. It's, again, it's human nature. From the beginning of time, from the second you were born, you always had somebody telling you how to do something or what to do. We have parents, we have teachers, we have bosses, we have sports coaches, all of them guiding you. And then you get to be an adult and you have nobody when it comes to this stuff. Like when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to fitness, like that's why I do what I do, because it provides that level of accountability that people have grown up with, that they've come accustomed to, that they thrive on. And if that's you and you've thrived on that type of system, then you got to seek it out for yourself. You really got to make sure that when it comes to you reaching your goals, you have some sort of external accountability system. Otherwise, you're going against what you've grown up on and what you've gotten really good at doing for years and years and years. Okay. Because if you've got a high school diploma, a college diploma, if you've gotten a varsity letter, like this is your wheelhouse. You just need somebody to trust to guide you and you're going to excel. Okay. And then last but not least is no set boundaries. When it comes to getting out of your own way, these are the people pleasers of this group, the people that are like, I'm going to do everything for everyone. I want to be involved in everything. And then they get put on the back burner. They're trying to do so many things at once that they can't get good at anything. And then they inevitably fail over and over and over again. And they let themselves down, but they say, oh, it's okay because I was there for my friend. I was there for my family member. And when you do that over and over and over again, it's like, great, you're falling into the trap of setting yourself on fire to keep everybody else warm. And you don't want to do that. You don't have to do that. Everybody can thrive, but sometimes those productive boundaries are necessary where it's like, listen, I got to take care of me so I could help take care of you and help take care of everybody else. And that's okay, because when when the oxygen masks come down on the plane, there's a reason they tell you to put yours on first, because you're useless if you're not getting any oxygen. Now, type 2. So when it comes to the type 2 type of people, they have one, no process-based goals or expectations, two, not appreciate, or they don't appreciate the wins, and three, don't really realize all that is going right. So when it comes to the process-based goals, okay, metrics other than weight matter a whole lot more, especially in the beginning, because if you're new to strength training and you're new to eating correctly in a high protein diet and all the things that are going to lead to you losing the weight, keeping it off, and doing it in a sustainable way, weight loss is not going to happen very fast or at all for the first bit of time, depending on how you go about it. So it helps having one, like body circumference measurements, because that'll help tell you how much fat you're burning, because a lot of people do end up burning fat at the same rate that they build muscle, and they're only jumping on the scale to be like, all right, what happened? And their clothes are fitting looser, they're feeling more energized, their weights are going up, but then they hop on the scale, nothing changes, and they're like, I'm a failure. I suck. I can't do this. And then that negative spiral starts going crazy. But if you have metrics that you rely on that don't focus on weight, like let's see if my inches went down, or let's see if I set a new PR in the gym, or let's see if my mood regulation is better. Am I like not losing my shit on everybody compared to a week or two ago or a month or two ago? Things like that help a lot, and they help you really focus on the right things. Next is the habits being the main focus. When you're on a health journey of any kind, and that involves burning body fat or getting stronger or whatever it is, habits are going to lead the way. Outcomes versus process is a very, very big deal when it comes to reaching a goal. Outcomes are those grand goals. Like, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 40 pounds. And along the journey, those are the things that a lot of people hyper fixate on, where they're like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. How many people would continue to do something where, if, for example, let's say you were running a race and you had somebody right ahead of you saying, I'm running faster, or you're not at the finish line yet, how many people would keep doing that for miles and miles and miles? No, you'd quit and be like, screw this, I'm done. And that's what a lot of people do on their fat loss journey. They're just telling themselves how far they have to go, how they're not at their goal yet. And instead, the people that see success do the opposite of that. The people that see long-term success focus on the things that they can control in the moment on a daily basis, like habits that include getting protein at every meal, getting fiber when you can, like making sure that we get some color on the plate, focusing on hydrating yourself, making sure that you get your workouts in. That's more than enough for most people to focus on. So you might as well focus on the things that are going to make the biggest difference, not the things that are telling you you suck, you're not there yet. Focus on the things like, I can check this box today. And as you continue to check boxes over and over and over again, you're going to reach your goals without even realizing it. You're just going to be in such a groove that you're like, oh, cool. Like the stats just happen from playing the game. And last but not least is embracing the bamboo tree rate of growth. For some people, it's not all going to happen in the beginning. You're going to see next to no progress, but by building these skills, by incorporating these habits over time, it's going to make a difference. Okay. Like the bamboo tree. Okay. Fun fact, a Chinese bamboo tree takes about 3 to 5 years to grow. It has to be watered and fertilized every damn day from the second you plant it until the day it dies. And after about 3 to 5 years, once it breaks through the ground, it literally takes that long just to break through the surface. You don't see anything for that long. And then within 5 weeks, it grows to 90 feet tall. And for a lot of people, that's how their journey is. They're just stacking these habits on top of each other. They're eating more protein, not seeing a lot of weight loss, but they're eating more protein and they're focusing on how much more full they are. Same with the fiber. And then they get the color down. And then they're controlling for calories. And then all of a sudden, now that they have these skills built up, it's easier to stick to it and be adherent. All of a sudden, the results start to show and they see it in the mirror, they see it in the pictures, they see it on the scale, but it takes a lot of build up to get to that point because you got to build the skills first. Next is appreciating the wins. So, first are non scale victories. Like every single week in the Fit40 program, I ask everybody what their non scale victories are. And that basically is any win that does not involve the scale. And there are some incredible ones there, like being able to run around with their kids, being able to do a million things that they physically weren't able to do in the beginning of the process, or just things that were harder that are now easy, things like that. And it makes a world of difference and it really keeps you in a positive mindset. And there are occasional times where some people will say, yeah, I didn't have any wins this week. And that's when we talk about what is, the concept is the best displayed in the movie The Matrix with the girl in the red dress. And for anybody who hasn't seen that scene, if you just YouTube Matrix girl in the red dress, it's the first thing that pops up on YouTube. That's the scene that I'm talking about. And basically, you're in a sea of all these corporate people that are in black suits with white shirts and like bland ties, basically just a bunch of business looking people that all kind of look the same. And then as this is all happening and they're talking, this girl in a bright red dress walks by Keanu Reeves and his head whips back like any straight male would. And when he does that, Morpheus, the guy who's talking to him, asks, so did you catch that or were you looking at the girl in the red dress? And he's like, And this is very apparent when we think about our week and the things that are going on. We look for the things that stand out. And more times than not, the things that stand out the most are negative. And you really have to actively switch your brain around and say, I am going to focus on the positive. And if you want a really good example of that, right now, whether you're driving, whether you're listening to this on a walk or at home, right now, I just want you to find everything that is green around you. Just focus on anything that's green. Okay. Take 2 seconds, count it up. I want you to see how many green things are around you and count an exact number 5, 10, 15, whatever it is. Okay. Now, I want you to tell me how many things that are black in the room without counting. Just tell me right now. You have no idea because you're so focused on the green stuff that you have no idea how many black things are around the room. A precise number, you don't know. Don't lie. You do not know. And that's okay because it really comes down to our area of focus. And that's the key thing here. You got to switch your brain around. You got to say, I am going to go out of my way to notice all of the good things that are happening. And that skill, that mental muscle that you build is invaluable along the journey. And then last but not least is all the right things. A lot of people give up when they're doing all the right things that are going to get them the results that they want. They just fall short because they have expectations that are not met because they really have no idea what to expect. So when it comes to things that they're doing right, that's usually eating relatively well. A lot of people hyperfixate on ingredients and labels and things like this, organic, non-GMO, and all that shit. Okay. Are you eating the stuff that we know is generally healthy? Yes or no? If you are, awesome. Then you're probably doing very, very well, even though you might not think you are. Are you more active than when you started this journey? If so, awesome. When it comes to step count, for example, as low as if you have no steps during the day, like you're in the hundreds, maybe even the 1,000 range, if you go from that to 2,000, the improvement in all-cause mortality and a bunch of other health markers just improves like crazy. And that's only at 2,000 steps. You can literally, they've studied it. You can literally just put tracker on, so like a watch, or check your phone and just be conscious of how many steps you get throughout the day. And just doing that alone, you're going to get at least 2,000 extra steps. So something as little as that can make a gigantic difference. And then as you get good at that, as your body gets acclimated to it and you want to do a little more, you get up to 5,000, which has even more benefits. And then you can get up to 7,000 or 8,000 or maybe even 10,000. And you are feeling like a completely new person. So that stuff will help a ton. And then when it comes to the results, having realistic expectations helps. We want to aim for about a half a pound to 1% of your body weight every single week. Now, are you going to get that every single week? No. Are you going to gain weight some weeks? Yes. Are you going to stall some weeks? Yes. But what we need to do is zoom out. Take a look at the entire month. Take a look at the entire last 2 or 3 months and see what the heck was going on. Am I lower or higher than I was before? What does that trend look like? A lot of the apps now will show you what your daily weigh-ins look like on a trend line and see exactly how it looks. If it's going downward and your goal is weight loss, then awesome. If your weight doesn't change, but you're looking at all your inches and all your inches are down and your goal is fat loss, then awesome, you are on track. But it comes down to having these targets and having this data to show you, hey, you're doing good. You're really doing much better than you think you are. And when you can have that reassurance and make sure that you are doing all the right things, then it's going to be that much easier to stay on track. All right. Now, if you want a little more support and you want that community aspect, because it does help to have that along the journey and make sure that there's other people cheering you on, that's what the Fit40 family is for. If you guys are not in the Fit40 family, if you're new to the podcast, well, first follow the podcast, make sure you don't miss an episode, but then go and check out the Fit40 family. That's where we do all of our challenges. I give daily tips every single day, just like this, do the weekly trainings just like this, and you're going to have all the information and support you need to make big changes in your life. Now, if you want to take it a step further, okay, I don't know why this is here, but basically that's what the Fit40 program is for. But before that, I like helping you guys out for free. So that's what the strategy call is for. If you want to sign up for a strategy call where I can literally just lay it out for you and say, if you do X, Y, and Z, you'll be in a really good spot. And then you can take it and run with it totally for free, no catch, no gimmick, nothing. But if you want to jump on as a client and get that level of support, that next level that pretty much guarantees results, then you can. But before that, I'm just going to do it for free. So if you want to do that, just jump on, click that link below, sign up for a strategy call, or reach out to me over the Facebook Messenger if for some reason the link doesn't work. And I'm happy to set one up for you and get you going in the right direction, because I do care about all you guys that listen to this podcast, the people who are there in the Fit40 family. I'm so sick of all the shit that I see all over social media pointing you guys in the wrong direction. I just want to help at this point. So if you want that help, I'm always here for you. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for making it all the way through. I will see you all same time, same place next week for another couple of episodes. I know we have a really cool guest coming up in Monday's podcast, so stay tuned for that. But until then, go kick some ass. I'll see y'all later.